Just because of that, that's the way that
Stand up every circus. He's on my thigh. She's on my thigh. Yeah, it's mafia.
And this is already I'll be right back.
But after the third advance, it just kind of
Oh my god.
Well, I think you're showing it. Don't try to keep
Which one you're looking for? I don't know, I'm just trying to go again. I'm not sure which one. Which one's Wait, did who's right already? No, okay, I'm an improv master.
And I want to go to an open mic. Open mic
Do I have to sign up to participate?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say on the paper.
Well, when I was in school, I was in a theater class, and every day we do these stupid warm-ups to do improv. And because I was the tough guy, I just sat out and skipped all the warm-ups, and when I'd go up there, I'd be better than the other people.
That's really amazing.
Hello.
Hello?
Greetings and salutations.
Right now we're just trying to get some sound, so I'm just trying to get this all set up. But anyway, how are you enjoying the con?
My first con.
Yeah, am I too loud or no?
No.
Okay.
Not loud enough, turn it up.
Anyway, this is the Brony Chronicles panel. How many of you know what the Brony Chronicles is? Okay, that's a small amount. So, what I was planning on doing is that I was going to show a little bit of it for people who don't know what it is. But I guess I'll explain what it is right now. The Brony Chronicles is a documentary that started out as a collaboration between myself and Saberspark. But then it started to grow and started to be this like really big collaboration between a lot of video editors and musicians and all kinds of people. And then we did like interviews at BronyCon, Evergreen Northwest, and Camelot Gardens, And then we like started to imagine how it would be put together. And we didn't finish the first part until June of this year. Originally, we had planned to have it out September last year, but that didn't work out because like our ideas just kept growing a bit. And we're still currently working on part 2. We were hoping to get part 2 out a little bit closer to part 1, but we had to like revamp it a little bit. Anyway, the first part is about basically how the show came about and how the fandom arose because of it. So that's what I was going to show is the first like I guess 15 minutes I guess of the documentary, and then I would take a Q&A. So right now we're just waiting on audio, and if I have enough time, I'll show a little bit of what we've been working on for part 2 that we sort of like came up with and then kind of scrapped that we may use, we may not use, we might put in like bonus stuff. So right now I'm just waiting for audio. Any questions so far?
Where's Saber?
Saber couldn't make it because he has a job now. Yeah, he no longer works as a lifeguard. Now he has a job at a company called Rico, and I may have him call in. This is starting a little bit later than I thought, so he may be able to call in. But if he calls me, I'll put him on Skype, and then we can like both answer your questions. Yes?
This comes across as kind of a devil's advocate question, but just going to ask it maybe so I can just answer other friends who may ask this question.
Yeah.
Why would I want to watch Brony Chronicles as opposed to Brony Chronicles already out?
The thing is that our documentary is like very different from theirs in the fact that we go over the beginning of the franchise, the show, and how the fandom sort of arose. And there's a lot of things that we talk about that they don't talk about, and there's a lot of stuff that they talk about. Oh, hold on. What? No, let me test it.
All right, let me know when it's playing.
It's no.
Well, let me know when it's playing on the computer.
Oh.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on right now.
Oh, you're trying to get the sounds anyway.
Hold on a moment.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything.
Okay, something's playing. Yeah. Oh wait a minute, I think I know why it's not playing. It's because I had to drag it over. Hold on, no, they just have food. How do I hold this muffin? You just hold it with your just like this. Okay. Now, take a letter.
Well, then turn it down. No, ours are headphones. You're probably the ones that headphones because they are overrated.
Different USB slot?
How are you playing audio anyway? With analog, digital, HDMI? Well, I mean, enjoy how empty it is now because tomorrow you're gonna have to Fusaro Yay your way to places. Of course, you need. I just need a how did they come up with switch your You're never going to listen to a channel. I want to shout Mark for Dragon in your career. I don't remember the name of the Dragon shout version. You don't get to listen to this. Instead, yes, I know what it is. Watch me get on YouTube.
Yeah, it's the independent
Click test sound. Oh, you're stuck. You just stop. Stop. There's a test sound button. There's a test sound. Click the face. Okay, the testing sound. Okay, test sound. We're on channel B. Yes, sound. How do you look?
You had an HDMI, so I could use it on that.
Do we have an HDMI out? But no, we don't have a lot. Yeah, just the right.
Probably still playing it on that one.
Okay, so Austin's gonna go get his DI box to see if we can use his. Anyway, to continue that answer, with our documentary, we don't really follow the stories of anyone. It's more the story of the emerging of the fandom, and we have a bunch of things that explain that. Like we have this little timeline, and we have a bunch of different custom things that we put together. I guess the main difference is that we wanted to approach our documentary as sort of a BBC-like thing where he covers the history of everything. So I guess that's like the essential thing of what makes us different from the one from John Delancey. Any questions before, well, we get sound. Anyway, yes?
What are your thoughts on the new Brony documentary that is gonna come out with?
Oh, the one by Brent Hodge with Ashley Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see that because it's from her perspective, which I thought that's what we were going to get with the John Delancey one, which there was only like a couple interviews with him in that documentary. But I think this one's going to follow like Ashley Ball into like all of her Hey Ocean concerts and how she interacted with Bronies there. And I know that Saber is actually in that one because he was interviewed by Brent Hodge in Atlanta along with Silverhound and a bunch of other people. So I think it's going to be interesting. Yes?
Do you think any documentaries about Bronies will air on TV, like on the History Channel?
Possibly. I know that the Brent Hodge documentary probably will because, well, at least in Canada, since that's where he's making it. We are in talks about possibly getting ours out on PBS or something like that. And I think the official one, it might end up on TV at some point. So I think like the bigger ones probably will at some point in the future. Any other questions? I just got a text from possibly Saber. Saber won't be home in time, so he's not gonna go in. Well, the thing is that we can't get the sound right now, so you could only hear him on the laptop speaker if we did. That sounded like something.
That sounded promising.
Yeah, I see that on that.
You wrote something.
Great.
I'm not getting anything.
I saw you walking into town and I went, catchy. It's a work in progress.
Anyway, that was actually let's see, Play with Pinky Redux by No Pony Zone, which is actually it's like a remix of Shiro Point's Play with Pinky. Who Shiro Point is actually one of our video editors that's for the documentary. Anyway, I guess I'll go ahead and show the first 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want to take up too much time with that since some of you have not seen it. So let's hold on a minute. Let's see, where is it? Where is it? There it is, okay. Now let me put this over here.
The word fandom means a celebration and camaraderie of individuals who share a similar interest. Or simply put, a community of die-hard fans. The subject of these groups can range from all sorts of media. Doctor Who, Pokemon, Star Wars, Harry Potter, the list just goes on and on. Some of these titles are extremely popular and are world-renowned. Others, however, are not as fortunate and are rejected because of their strange behavior. In fall of 2010, a group such as this emerged, born from the internet. These fans burned a trail through the web and quickly became an online phenomenon, and they go by the name of Bronies. Older male fans of the show, My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. These people might sound strange, and that's because, well, they are strange. Nothing like this has ever happened before, or at least on this level. It confuses social logic and throws mainstream society for a loop. Men are held to a high standard, and to see them enjoying something so feminine and childish is quite bizarre, and is even semi-threatening to some people. But just like other parts of geek culture, appearances can be deceiving. The rabbit trail goes deeper than you think, and we're going to explore every inch of it, from the origins to the community, to the social science, and through dozens of interviews with My Little Pony fans. No detail will be spared as we explore the series of events that have led up to the Brony fandom that exists today, a group of fans who inadvertently challenge established social norms. This is their journey. This is their story. The beginning of our tale is one that dates all the way back to the early 1920s, many decades before the My Little Pony franchise even existed. A small company at the time that went by the name of Hassenfield Brothers manufactured simple pencil cases and school supplies. 30 years later, the business switched up its production and created its first unique toy, Mr. Potato Head. It was a smash hit and opened the door for the budding enterprise, which eventually changed its name to Hasbro. Another successful franchise soon followed that called itself G.I. Joe. As a matter of fact, it was this line of toys that coined the phrase action figure in order to toughen up its doll-like image and look more appealing to boys. It was a very effective strategy, as Hasbro was quickly learning the ins and outs of its consumers and their respective demographics. In the 1980s, Hasbro picked up momentum with the launch of two powerhouse series that still remain popular to this day, Transformers and My Little Pony. Both went on to become worldwide phenomenons and became very successful with their targeted audiences. Young boys would play with their Optimus Prime toys, while little girls would brush the manes of their plastic ponies. That was the norm. However, this wouldn't always be the case for My Little Pony, as it, thanks to a crazy series of events, ended up with a sizable demographic that no one expected. Yet this didn't happen until almost 30 years after the creation of MLP. For it was then, in the early 1980s, where My Little Pony officially began.
My little pony, my little pony.
development of the franchise is all due to the initial idea and toy designs of Bonnie Zaccarel, the original creator of My Little Pony. Her inspiration for the series stems all the way back to her childhood, when she was just a little girl living in Japan. Her father was an army veterinarian who worked at a compound for animals. She spent a lot of her days there with the pony, and over time grew close to it. The family eventually had to move away from Japan, and they were unable to take Bonnie's pet with them. She begged her father for another pony at their new home, but he persuaded her otherwise. The amount of work required for its upkeep would cut into every facet of Bonnie's life, such as having a job, school, and friends. She took her dad's advice, though she never gave up on the dream of one day having her own pony. Years later, this sparked an idea. Bonnie thought that if she couldn't have a real pony, then why not have the next best thing, a toy pony? She drew up designs for the concept and dubbed it My Pretty Pony. At first, the toys were bulky and had bland colors. Then again, Bonnie intended this because that made the toys more accurate to actual ponies. After making some alterations that were suggested by Hasbro, the final product was complete, and the title for the franchise was changed to My Little Pony. Hasbro approved and bought the rights to Bonnie's creation. It soon became a huge success and was extremely popular among young females everywhere.
Beautiful, magical, fantastical. My little pony, daughter pony, there's no one else like you around.
From the beginning, MLP had a feminine tone and audience in mind. This is something that Hasbro recognized and established on. It worked for G.I. Joe and young boys in the past, and they knew that My Little Pony was going to work just as effectively on little girls in the 1980s. Different genders, different franchises. So began a marketing technique that remains strong to this very day. But Hasbro is just one of many companies that reinforce the idea of boys and girls sticking to their own types of toys. To be honest, these results are just a byproduct of corporations trying to market to an existing audience and what they like. This is what we call the pink-blue syndrome, and it has been highly prominent in the My Little Pony series since its creation, and is also the main reason why bronies are such an unusual phenomenon. Go to any toy aisle at any store. What colors jump out to you? Pink and blue, of course. And what do these colors indicate? The boy toys from the girl toys. The guys will stand around their aisle checking out Star Wars toys, Nerf guns, and Hot Wheel cars. The female section, on the other hand, will be filled with Barbie dolls, Littlest Pet Shop, and My Little Pony. This is something people in modern society are used to, but rarely consciously realize. So one can see why it's odd. When an older male is looking for that Rainbow Dash toy in the pink aisle, it's a violation of a social norm and sets off a red flag in our mind. We then register that individual as a deviant and assume the worst in him. This is the cornerstone of our case study, and it will be explained in more detail as we continue on. For the time being, we'll focus on the history of the series and how it secured a social medium over the course of the next 3 decades. When it comes to My Little Pony, there are 2 different timelines, one for the toys and one for the cartoons. For this case study, we will focus on the latter. Now, I know you might be thinking that this is a tad excessive, talking about the past generations of the show, but it's actually the opposite. For almost 30 years, My Little Pony has been catered towards younger females, and mainstream society has gotten used to that notion. We need to analyze what kind of ideas were firmly established over that time period, and how it contributed to the social norm that we are questioning today. My Little Pony...
Okay, I'm gonna stop there. But anyway, for those of you who haven't seen it, you can see the full thing on SaberSpark's channel. It should be his featured video. If not, you can just type in the Brony Chronicles on YouTube and it should show up. Recently, we actually had a sort of a problem with the upload because currently Shout Factory is starting to take down videos that has anything from G4 in it. So, but we were able to get it back up because we did a dispute. But you should be able to find it, and I'm probably going to upload it to other places if it does get taken down. So anyway, I think I'm going to show a little bit from part 2 that we haven't. We're not really going to use. Some of it we're probably going to use for bonus stuff, but we're just going to show. I'm just going to show a little bit title cards and one song that we had Psychosis do for us. So that's an animation bumper that Shira Point was working on. let's see, like that was the concept for it, and this was what it came up with. And then, let's see, there's also another thing that SharePoint did. I think SharePoint made this one. Yeah, and here's a really cool one that Omega Ozone did for us. And the other thing, which we're probably not going to use for the intro, because we wanted to have a different intro for each part. Part 2 is all about fan content. Part 1 is about the history. As you saw, we've put a timeline and stuff about that, where that's about the history of the franchise and the emerging of the fandom. The second part is all about fan content and conventions and all that. So what we did is that we asked Psychosis to put together a medley of, not a medley, well, sort of a medley mashup of like some really popular Brony music. So we put that together. So I guess I'll play that and then I'll go to Q&A. If it'll open, that is. Nah, why is this not working? Okay, there we go, yeah.
South flows from the Coney. This is all love, every poem's a homie. Calmly to homely,
All right, so yeah, that was a Chronicles. The Chronicles of Bronia is what he named it. I'm not sure if we'll probably use that for like a credits outro, and it might not be the full thing. We had to shorten it down because that's about 5 minutes, and that's like a lot of work for our video editors to do. So we might shorten it down to like a 2.5 minutes something. So anyway, let me put this image up, and then I guess we'll go ahead and get the Q&A. Yeah. If this will exit, there we go. I can't see the thing. Where is the X? X. Here, I'll go over here. Yeah. Image here. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll open this up to Q&A. So if you have any questions. No questions? Yes?
Would we be able to see the intro to the Brony Chronicles or the music just now as well online somewhere?
This, I'll probably release this after we have part 2 out. So definitely and are you talking about the intro that we for
the documentary?
Yeah, for part 1?
Just the intro, because that's
Yeah, Saber actually uploaded just the intro to his channel, and the intro is by Feedsy, who's done a lot of really great PMVs, and the song is by Fuzogs, which is his Make It Special reflection mix, which there's actually a full version of that on his channel, because that was a short version. The full version is even better.
How do you spell both their names?
Oh, Saberspark? Saberspark is S-A-B-E-R. Oh, the people that made it. The people that made it as well. Feedsy is spelled F-E-E-D-S-Y. He doesn't really have anything on his channel right now because he had his channel linked to his school account, and when his school's email changed, his YouTube channel just got shut down. So, and Fuzogs is F-O-O-Z-O-G-Z, but his YouTube URL is Pepperbrony. So, you're welcome. Any other questions? Yes. Brony Breakdown? Since, again, Saber can't make it because of issues with work and whatnot, so I'm going to have Tom on, my friend Tom, who is also known as Brony Curious. So I'll be talking to him, and I might have Matt, who is also known as DB Pony. So if he's available. And trying to think of anybody else who would want to join in, who's available tomorrow. Anyway, I do have some videos planned that I wanted to show that, because right now Brony Breakdown is sort of going through a revamp. We've been on hiatus for a while now, and we're going to come back in November when season 4 starts because there's a lot of things we want to change with how we do things with Brony Breakdown. So, but I still like doing the live shows because it's kind of a little different experience. All right, next question. Yes?
With that medley mashup thing that you showed us, exactly how long did it take to make that? And who is?
Oh, who made that? That was Psychosis, who's done a ton of like pony mashups before. He the way you spell Psychosis is P-S-Y and then C-O-S-I-S, and he actually made that for us very quickly. He's very fast at working with mashups, so I have no idea how long it took for him, but he got it to us really quickly. So, yes? Yes.
Okay. Overall, how much will it take to see a full, complete thing? And also, what are your thoughts of, again, Shout Factory taking down a lot of videos from anything that has to do with season 4 and putting most of the accounts like yours or Saber's to take out the 15-minute thing?
Yeah. The thing about let's see, what was your first question?
My first question on how long will we expect to see the full Brony Chronicles documentary?
Oh, the full. Are you talking about all parts?
Yeah.
How long will we expect? I have no idea actually, because we're still working on part 2, and like part 3's script is like already done, but we're just revamping part 2. So, and then that just depends on like how long it takes the video editors to work on it, and then how long it takes me to put it all together. Because the process is how we do it. We make the script first. We decide what we want to put in it as far as like the interviews that we have. And then Saber narrates it. He makes a rough recording first, and then I edit with that, and then he makes a final recording. And then the rendering process was surprisingly frustrating for us when we rendered part 1, because part 1 took, like, we said, oh, part 1's done, it's going to be out tomorrow. And then something went wrong with the rendering, and it took us like 5 days to get it working. So, but we figured out the problem. So part 2, when we say it's going to come out, when we definitely know when it's going to come out, like, it's actually going to come out this time because we know what was wrong last time. So, I would expect part 2 sometime late October, and then part 3 sometime late November. But don't hold me to that because things can possibly change. I definitely want to get both parts out before the end of the year, though. So, and then the other question about Shout Factory. The weird thing is that Shout Factory has been around for a while, you know, selling the DVDs, and only now do they start flagging videos. So I'm like, well, why are they doing it? They're just a distributor. They don't own like all the rights to My Little Pony. Hasbro does. So I'm confused because I have videos that are marked by Hasbro Studios, but they still allow me to keep them up as long as like I'm not making money off of it. Shout Factory, for some reason, takes anything down, even if it's not an episode. It'll just take something down if it's either it's like audio-visual of an episode. So Saber was able to dispute the facts with Shout Factory for Brony Chronicles, since we're making it like a purely educational thing. So I'm not sure. If anything does like start to go wrong, we might like try to fight them about it. So, yes? Did you have your hand up? No? Okay. Any other questions? Is that good? Oh, yes?
Can we expect to hear
I don't think so. We have Mumble, and we're trying to get some other people to work with us because we have Mumble, Fuzogs. Philly Poo actually did the little Celestia's Ballad intro that you just saw. But we're probably going to have some of Mumble's friends help us with music. So I think I'll take 5 more minutes and then head out because I'm already over. So yes. Okay, the question is, what is my reaction to Hasty leaving the fandom and making his videos private? I don't really have anything to say about that, but I think, I don't know, I mean, does what he does. I mean, I'll do what I do. I probably will never make anything of mine private. If my video is blocked like the Shell Factory thing, I mean, that's not my fault. But I mean, people just do what they do. I mean, I don't really think. I don't think. Anyway, the other thing was to thank me for continuing the top 10 songs for each month, because I'm starting to do that now. But the thing is that's the thing that surprised me about Shout Factory, because right before I was about to upload the top 10 songs for August, it said I didn't have 15-minute uploads anymore. So I couldn't, because my video was like 16 minutes, so I was like, I have to re-render it. And so I'm probably going to have top 10 on a separate channel from now on, so that way I could have like longer videos, and definitely for the end of the year when I do top 25 like Saber did last year. So anyway, yeah. Any other questions? Yes?
When I subscribed to your channel a long time ago, I remember you left a comment thanking me for subscribing.
Yes.
Was that actually you, or was that just like a...
Yeah, that was me. I do it to every person I can. Sometimes it doesn't go through, so I'm sorry if you don't have one of those, and sometimes you don't have comments enabled. But I think the fact that I hate to keep going back to the Shell Factory thing, but I think I might make another channel at some point, and then if I transfer all of my subs that way, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to thank everybody again, so I'll probably put out a video or something. But for the time being, I like check it every day and then go to each person's channel just to see what they do. So, because that's how I started out on YouTube before I started doing pony stuff. So. Yes?
This first documentary
Mm-hmm.
kind of goes into the, like you mentioned, social science, why...
Yeah, well, the third part will actually go a lot more in depth about that.
Have you gotten good reviews from people who don't really understand what Brony is all about?
Yeah, so far we have. We haven't really heard of anybody who found out about Bronies because of our documentary, but we have had good responses from people who don't know about it. Hold on a moment. Hold on, I'm gonna have Saber say hi to you guys. Hey, you there? Say hi to the audience. Okay, yeah, I'm at the end of the panel right now. Actually... What? Yeah. Okay, well, actually, I wanted to ask you a question because this just came up. Did you have anybody who has told you who has a good? What was the question again?
Basically, somebody who doesn't understand this. Have you had a good review from somebody like it can be eye-opening?
Okay, yeah. Have you had anybody who doesn't understand bronies or doesn't know about it? Have you had good responses from them about the documentary?
Somebody who didn't know anything about bronies, who didn't watch it, liked it. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, my friend Scott, he showed it to his brother, and his brother didn't know anything about it, and he thought it was cool. I mean, more often than not, a lot of people who watch it will say, okay, they appreciate what, we're trying to do, and they might go, okay, I didn't know this was a thing, I guess it exists, so I'm okay with it. And in my eyes, it's, mission accomplished. As far as going and saying, like, oh, okay, I'm a full-fledged Brony now, like, I haven't heard really any of that. Then, I don't really read YouTube comments, so I have no idea. I should read YouTube comments more often. I shouldn't.
I remember, like, when we first released it, we were looking at comments as they were coming in. Sometimes I go back to it and, check the comments and, like, see, like, what people are saying. But, yeah, overall, it's a positive response that we've gotten.